Hello everyone. Good morning. I hope you are well today. Thank you for tuning in. If you're watching the replay, give me a hashtag replay in the comments. Let me know that you are here. I would love to know that you are watching. So do give me a hashtag replay if you are tuning in to the replay. I would love to know. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for tuning in. I do very much appreciate it as always. See some people hopping on. We are currently live on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, Facebook, and of course inside the Uncover Wealth community, my private Facebook group. So we are streaming all across different platforms today. This is, hey Ben, thank you for joining me. Hey TikTok Eds, thank you for joining me. Michael, hello. Thank you everyone who is tuning in and watching today. I do very much appreciate it. Joining me and tuning in. This is AMs with Annette, and today we're covering UK business updates. So all those things in relation to the government, support, the banks, the economy, all those kinds of things that have come out over the last 24 hours. This is an update over the last 24 hours of those various things. So that is what we are covering off today. I don't go into anything political and I don't go into anything medical around coronavirus either. So both those topics are not what we are speaking about today. We are speaking about UK business updates. So I have a few things that I want to cover off with you. For those of you that are new and you don't know who I am, my name is I am a chartered accountant, certified profit first, and I help business owners take money from their business for them and their families to enjoy. Of course, at the moment, is happening for many these videos to help and support as well. Simon from likes, the thumbs up, the shares, the follows, all those great things. So thank you for all of those. Again, we're on whichever mechanism exists on that platform. I massively appreciate that. So thank you very much. I am not sure how to name it. Starts with Nur, so I'm just going to say Nur. Nur Singh, maybe? I'm really sorry if I've completely wrecked how to pronounce your name, but hello, I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for asking. Trigon, thank you for joining me. Mike is asking if I love animals or eat them. That's interesting question. Oh, you're from Germany. Lovely. This, as I said, is UK Business Update. We are speaking about all things UK business on this session. So the first thing that I want to speak about is the Treasury announcing that from April 2022, all VAT registered businesses will be required to report digitally each quarter. Of course, that is now the case for businesses who are over the VAT threshold, who have to report digitally. But what they are saying is even those who have voluntarily registered, so they are below the VAT threshold, now have to comply from April 2022, have to comply with the Making Tax Digital legislation to report digitally every quarter to HMRC. And then from April 2023, that will expand to anyone filing self-assessment or business on a business or property income over 10,000 a year. So if you are filing self-assessment and on your self-assessment form, you are claiming over 10,000 a year in income, whether that be on a business or on property tax, then you'll be required to submit quarterly to HMRC from April 2023. This, of course, is the next stage, as I said, in the Making Tax Digital legislation. And there's the belief that this will reduce mistakes, which cost the Exchequer £8.5 billion in the 18-19 tax year. People are saying, commentators have been saying over the last 24 hours, after this was announced, this has come out the blue. And in all honesty, they're kind of wrong that it's come out of the blue. If they think it's come out of the blue, they've been looking in the wrong direction, because this has been the plan for years to introduce these other stages to making tax digital. So this is not a new thing in any way whatsoever. It just happens that people are upset about it being announced at this point in time, with coronavirus affecting businesses, with, of course, the leaving the EU happening at the end of the year and the effects that is having on some businesses as well. And they're saying, hang on a minute, what's this new thing? It's not actually a new thing at all. As I said, it's been tabled for many, many years. It is just that we have been updated on the timescale of that. Ant is asking if I'm American or Scottish. I'm Scottish, Ant. A lot of people ask if I'm American. That often is a question that people ask. I am in fact Scottish. That is what I am. I live just south of Edinburgh in the Scottish borders. So that is where I am based. Thank you for everyone who is tuning in. Thank you for joining me. Everyone who is hopping on whichever platform you are on, I do appreciate it. This is AMs with Annette, UK business update. So we are covering all things business today. That is what we are speaking about this morning. So next up is UK insolvencies are set to rise sharply in the coming months. They are expected to be in excess of those that we saw in 2008 when the financial crisis hit. There was already an increase in July that we've already seen, predominantly amongst construction, bars, restaurants, and retail. Of course, we know some of the big names that have gone into insolvency proceedings, including Debenhams, Monsoon, Quiz, TM Lewin, Harvey, Benson's for Beds, and into the shopping centre owner as well, all having moved into insolvency proceedings. That is, in all honesty, just to name a few. We are seeing a lot of insolvencies happening and people speaking to insolvency practitioners about their next steps as well at the moment. A lot of pressure on businesses, and in all honesty, we really do expect this to extend to probably into Q1 of next year, to see high levels of insolvency, because we have a big cash crunch on businesses just now. We know reduced revenue happened, and then of course many businesses are then being affected by people having to let me just block somebody. There we go. Crazy people. There we are. And then many businesses having to the extra expense of things like PPE, social distancing, reduced footfall when it comes to revenue when opening back up, all those kinds of things. So we are seeing a massive crunch in revenue, increase in costs for many, many businesses as well. And of course, we are going to start seeing, come spring next year, repayments required on loans that have been taken out as well. So there's going to be all these things coming into play, where we're going to see not insolvencies at this point in time for businesses, but this will extend, as I say, easily go into Q1 next year in terms of increased levels of insolvent businesses as a result of this situation. Of course, we also, in the mix of that, have our exiting from the EU. We have potentially increases in trade tariffs and those kinds of things coming in as well, which is going to cause a massive issue for many businesses as well. So that is that is the situation that we have, unfortunately, when it comes to the insolvencies and what that looks like in the UK as well. So we are in it for a little bit of a long haul, in all honesty. So yeah, let's see what comes of it, pretty much. There we go. So thank you for tuning in. Lisa, lovely to see you. Zalika, love you on here. Monica, thank you for joining me. Alexa, thank you for joining me. Bex, thank you for tuning in as well. I do very much appreciate it. This is AMs with Annette. This is your UK business update. So thank you for joining in and joining in with me today. Tim is saying, is this affecting worldwide? So did your last affect worldwide? I'm not sure which bit you're speaking. In terms of insolvencies, yes, we will expect to see that pretty much across all nations, unless there's intervention in some way by legislation or government in those countries. Of course, different countries have different rules around insolvencies and those kinds of things, so it may vary from country to country, but we are expecting there to be impacts as well. Phil, thank you for joining me. Zinu, thank you for tuning in. I am well, thank you. I hope you are too. Gymshark, thank you for joining me. Shrek the Deck, I am very well, thank you for asking. Lovely, lovely. Thank you everyone who is tuning in. Thank you for your comments, your shares, your likes, your thumbs up, your follows. All those things are massively, massively appreciated. So thank you very, very much for those. I do very much appreciate that. We're also hearing that the owner of Covent Garden has basically offered to restructure lease terms until the end of the year to help tenants. What they are saying is that they are going to tie a proportion of the tenant's rent into the revenue of the business. Now, this is something that really doesn't happen in the UK very often at all. It's incredibly rare in the UK, but is much more common in the US and Europe. And we're starting to see that come in a little bit more now in the UK. There was a big call for this from many, many commercial tenants over coronavirus period when they had to close their doors and had zero revenue, but still had to pay out their leases. And therefore we're saying, well, hang on a minute. Why are the landlords not affected here? Why is it just us? You know, we pay a certain lease amount. We choose a certain building because of the footfall and the opportunity that exists, and that doesn't exist anymore. And therefore, there was a call for this to happen, so the owner of Covent Garden has gone ahead and introduced this till the end of the year, they are saying at the moment. The issue with linking to revenue is how do you, for example, incorporate, say, online sales that a business might have when rent is linked to turnover. Now, you could say, well, if they're online sales, they're not relevant, but the question would be maybe they are, because you're getting, you know, the brand recognition from being on the high street and those kinds of things that come into play when it comes to online sales as well. So that is something that's quite difficult to establish. And also, you know, multi-site locations. What is the benefit of that? Does one landlord benefit more? But is there a cross benefit because they have multi-sites anyway? And are people shopping in one because they've seen another? And those kinds of things that might exist too. So those are some of the issues when we look at linking to revenue. Also, of course, it's not the landlord's fault if the business owner is not very good at selling and doesn't sell things that people want. That is not the fault of the landlord, and therefore to penalize the landlord by linking to revenue seems harsh as well at the same time. So it's an interesting one to consider. Tim is saying, should I wait a bit to invest more before the rebound? Tim, I can't give specific investment advice. I'm a chartered accountant. We're not allowed to give specific investment advice. Therefore, I cannot comment on where you should invest when it comes to the stock market and stocks and shares and things like that. But I would recommend that you do your homework on what you're looking to invest in, because there is going to be some interesting things happening, I am sure, over the next 6 to 12 months probably. So make sure you do extensive homework when you are looking at who to invest in, is what I would say as well. Let's see, what have we got? Hello, Quiet. Hello, thank you for joining me. Who else have we got? Have we got any more questions coming out? Yeah, user is 47097 is saying expecting big inflation. Yeah, silver has just spiked as well. Yeah, somebody yesterday was mentioning that as well, actually, expecting hyperinflation potentially. There are some commentators speaking about a potential hyperinflation situation at the moment, that we need to keep an eye on what happens with that. That will be, time will tell on that, but there is a couple of indications at the moment that might potentially be an issue as well. I think that's us. Thank you everyone who is tuning in. I do appreciate very much you tuning in. This is AMs with Annette. I was going to say weekdays, but it's actually Monday to Thursday at 11 a.m. UK. We're covering all things online business. So thank you for tuning in and thank you for joining me. I can see I've got some hellos over here, but I can't see who they are from. Let me pull that up. Where are we? Let's have a look. Where are those hellos? Here we go. Oh, I don't know. My computer is not being very happy. But for those people who are saying hello in the Uncover Wealth community, thank you for that. I appreciate it. But I can't actually see your name at the moment. My machine has decided just to call you user. So thank you so much for that. Oh, we've got some lovely offensive people on TikTok as well. Name calling is never going to win any friends. So thank you for that. Bob Marley's coming. I'm very well, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for the compliment. It's always very nice. So thank you for that. I do very much appreciate it. There we go. I can see now we've got Wendy and Kobe joining me. Thank you for both of you to join me. Thank you for tuning in. Lovely. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So this is I'm very well, thank you, Eduardo. Thank you for asking. That is basically what I wanted to cover off with you today. If you're just tuning in, then you can catch the replays on most channels that you are watching. Of course, TikTok, we do not have a replay function. Therefore, you can hop over to Instagram, to my IGTV, or to YouTube, both of which are linked there to join me and catch up the replay as well if you want to do that. But I am back again at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Same time, same place, same platforms. Again, for AMs with Annette UK Business Update. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining me wherever you are. I do always appreciate it. I know your time is incredibly precious and I appreciate you spending some of it with me. And I will speak